going for Emily.
I'm definitely going to be at like 6 minutes. I'm sorry. So my father is one of the biggest Kiss fanatics out there. Like, he loves Kiss. He lives for Kiss. He wants to be Gene Simmons. Every Halloween since like before I was born, Gene Simmons. He's got the whole costume, the makeup, the tongue, the whole getup. I actually think he looks more like Gene Simmons than Gene Simmons looks like Gene Simmons. But that's just my opinion. So back in 1979, this was before anybody knew what the band looked like without makeup, just to set it back all the way there. So he had camped out to get tickets, front row tickets for 2 shows, 2 nights in a row in Providence, Rhode Island. Went to both concerts in the makeup, rock and roll clothes, his platform shoes because it's the 70s. He goes to these concerts with his brother. And this is the second night. So he gets there, he's got the makeup on, everybody loves him, they're taking pictures with him, the roadies think he looks great, the band comes out, they're all like pointing him out and giving him thumbs up, everybody thinks he looks fabulous. And this girl comes out towards the end of the concert, comes up to him to take a photo. He notices that she's got this backstage pass around her neck. And so being an 18-year-old guy, he says, "Hey, what are you doing after the show?" She says, "I'm going back to the hotel with the band." He's like, "Okay, well, where's that?" She whispers in his ear, "Marriott Hotel, 4th floor." Concert ends, he turns to my uncle and says, "All right, quick, we gotta go, we gotta get there." "Where are we going? What's going on?" They're at the Marriott, that's where they're saying, "We gotta go, we gotta find a way in." So after a lot of convincing, because my uncle's like, "No, we're not going to get in. How are you going to do this? This isn't a good idea." They end up in the parking lot in the back of the hotel at the Marriott. They're looking around. Finally, my dad sees a door. He's like, "All right, I'm going in." And Anthony's all like, "No, you're going to get beat up. You're going to get kicked out of there. I'm staying here." My dad's like, "All right, you wait here. I'm going in." Goes through the unlocked back hotel door, because, safety. Goes in, gets on the elevator, goes up to the 4th floor. Steps out, looks around, doesn't see anything. So he starts heading down the hallway. There's a door that's cracked open, there's some noise in there. He keeps going, gets about halfway down the hallway, and he hears, "Hey!" Turns around, there's a security guard. "All right, kid, we all saw you. You look great, but you can't be here." My dad opens up his jacket. He's like, "I don't have any cameras, any weapons. I don't want to cause any trouble. I just want to meet the guy." So the security guard's like, "All right, you stay here. You don't go past any windows. Stay right here. I'll go see if he's busy." Disappears down the hall, around the corner. About 5 minutes later, this guy comes around. He's wearing a robe. His hair's all wet. He's got these girls underneath his arms. My dad has no idea who this is. So he's just standing there waiting. The guy says to him, "Hey, Gene, you look great." Guy gets closer, realizes that there's some black underneath his eyes. Oh my God, it's Gene Simmons. So they have like this fabulous 20-minute conversation. Gene's asking him like if he does the makeup himself, how long have you been a fan, which was since like forever. He wants to know what he thought of the tour compared to last tour. My dad wants to know if it's true, if he doesn't smoke or do drugs or drink, which apparently is true. So they have this great 20-minute conversation. At the end, Gene's like, "All right, so how'd you find out we were here?" Kind of smirking. My dad says, "Oh, this girl came out. I think her name was Anne." He's like, "Oh, I don't know an Anne," as he's smiling. So still to this day, my dad thinks that like she was sent out there by him to go get him, which may or may not be true. So Gene's like, "All right, you stay here. When you go down, as far as you're concerned, you didn't get up here. You don't tell anybody you met me. You got thrown out. You did not get up here." My dad's like, "Oh, it's fine." Gene disappears. Security guard comes back, hands him this piece of paper. It's a Marriott letterhead written on "Rock on Steve," signed Gene Simmons. My dad gets down, tries to head out to the car, and And all these people rush up to him. He's like, don't even try. There's security everywhere. I tried to get in. I almost got beat up. Don't even try. Go home. So he gets into the car, and my uncle's like, see, I told you, Steve, you wouldn't make it in. You should have listened to me. My dad quietly pulls out the rolled up piece of paper, hands it to my uncle, and says, no, you should have come up. And that's the story of how my dad. Also, this is his t-shirt. Not jeans,